And so too is Barry Lyndon, directed by Stanley Kubrick and based on Thackeray's novel of the same name. A new film by Kubrick is a rare event. He's only made 10 in 22 years. But as those 10 include Paths of Glory, Lolita, Dr. Strangelove, 2001 and A Clockwork Orange, a new film by Kubrick is also a notable event. What's exceptional about the man is that he never comes out of the same trap twice. Each film is different in content and even in style from its predecessor. 2001 was a masterly example of science fiction, the notorious but brilliant Clockwork Orange, a study of contemporary violence. And Barry Lyndon is Kubrick's experiment in costume drama. Well, I say experiment, but it's far more than that. It's a quite magnificent achievement, certainly one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. Kubrick, the ultimate perfectionist, shot the picture using a specially fast camera lens, which had been designed for the American space project, so that for the first time that I can remember in the cinema, the interiors actually appear to have been lit by candlelight. Very apt for an 18th century story. In the two clips that we'll be showing in a minute or so, I think you'll notice the extraordinary contrast between the interior and exterior lighting. Still, let's not get bogged down on the technicalities. Barry Lyndon tells of the rise and fall of an Irish adventurer and, let's face it, cad, who becomes a soldier, a deserter, a gambler, a duelist, and eventually the husband of a very rich widow. And that's just the first half of the film. I understand that when Kubrick was asked, with natural anxiety, by his financial backers, Warner Brothers, how long it would take to tell the story, he replied, as long as it takes to tell the story. In the event, it took him 3 hours and 5 minutes, and for me, it's not a moment too long. But at this point, let's pause and look at one of the action scenes. Financial embarrassment has driven the young Barry Lyndon, played by Ryan O'Neill, into fighting for the English against the French in the 7 Years' War. In his first battle, one of his early protectors, Captain Grogan, is mortally wounded.
Barry's first taste of battle was only a skirmish against a small rearguard of Frenchmen who occupied an orchard beside a road down which a few hours later the English main force would wish to pass. Though this encounter is not recorded in any history books, it was memorable enough for those who took part.
The stars of Barry Lyndon are Ryan O'Neill and the exquisite Marisa Berenson as Lady Lyndon. The second half of the film tells of Barry's marriage to her, and not least her fortune, and his ultimate decline. But in a sense, the cast hardly matters, because this is very much Kubrick's picture. There is, I think, deliberately a distance between the audience and the characters. You're asked to watch the story of their adventures and misadventures, but not necessarily to identify with them. Well, that's a dangerous approach, but it works. And what also works is the leisurely pace of the film, a pace that matches the pace of the novel and, I dare say, of 18th century life itself. So if you're expecting an all-action swashbuckler, forget it. What Kubrick presents instead is a hard, unromantic and unsentimental look at the life and times of a good-looking but ill-fated opportunist, and a brilliant piece of work it is too. But now let's see one of those interior scenes I mentioned earlier. Barry's deserted from the army, disguised as a British officer, and sought refuge in the home of a German girl, played by Diana Kerner, whose husband is himself away at the wars.
And how long has he been gone?
Sorry, I didn't understand. What?
Wie lange ist er schon weg?
Oh, a long time. Since springtime.
Must be hard for you to be alone.
It must be very dangerous for you to be in the war.
I'm an officer and I must do my duty.
You are sometimes lonely.
Sometimes.
What did you say? What's your name?
Lieutenant Fagan.
No, I mean, what is the name before Fakenham?
Meine Vornamen
Ja,
ist Jonathan.
Jonathan. Would you like to stay with me for a few days or sometimes?
That would be very nice.
What I must tell you about that film is that it not only looks marvellous, it sounds marvellous too, because the background music is superbly chosen. Well, the big Christmas